It looks like somebody forgot to give big baby Trump his baba this morning because he went on another one of his morning rants, but this time it was targeted towards his own propaganda network, Fox News. I'll show you guys the multiple bad news articles coming from the network about Trump's polling numbers, and then we'll talk about how the Republican Civil War is starting to heat up. Here's what he posted this morning. The crooked Fox News polls got the election wrong. I won by much more than they said I would and have been biased against me for years. Yeah, Fox News is biased against Trump like Really American is biased for him. They are always wrong and negative. That's why MAGA hates Fox News, even though their anchors are great. This has gone on for years, but they never change the incompetent polling company that does their work. Now a new Fox News poll comes out this morning, giving me a little more than 50% at the border, and yet the border is miraculously perfect. Nobody was able to come in last month. 60,000 people came in with Sleepy Joe in the same month last year. I hate fake pollsters. One of the worst, but Fox will never change their discredited pollster. So what poll numbers is he referring to with his little blow up? Well, here's one of them. Fox News poll, economic pessimism abates slightly as voters reflect on the economy. A majority opposes President Trump's budget plan, including about 1/4 of Republicans. Voters are feeling a little better about the economy, yet overall sentiment remains negative. Since the start of President Trump's second term, positive ratings of the economy have inched up from 21% to 28% to 31%. These people are trying to celebrate going from an F to a slightly better F. Trump isn't managing to flip the optimism-pessimism chart here. Most people are still answering that they feel pessimistic about the direction the economy is headed post the pandemic. And when it comes to Trump's overall job performance, he's 8 points underwater, with 54% of people saying they disapprove of his job performance and only 46% saying they approve. The only issue that this Fox News poll has him positive on is border security, with 53% over 46%. Interestingly enough, that's separate from immigration, where he's again negative. So clearly, a majority of Republicans and some Democrats agree that border security is an important topic, but also agree that immigration is important and the way that Donald Trump is going about it is wrong. Now this, of course, is counter to what Trump is saying about his own popularity. Here he is on the lawn of the White House doing his favorite thing ever, lying.
So I may have some people that are a little bit unhappy now, but I have some people that are very happy, and I have people outside of the base that can't believe that this is happening. They're so happy. And there was a poll that just came out today that my approval rating is the highest it's ever been. All I'm doing is saying you can't have a nuclear weapon. And I tried to do it nicely, and then on day 61 I said, let's go, because we can't let that happen. And I've been saying it for 20 years. Okay, I'm going to leave. Thank you very much.
But this claim too is disputed by Fox News, who posted this. Poll position, where Trump stands in the eyes of Americans 5 months into his second presidency. President Trump highlights highest ever approval despite most recent national polls suggesting otherwise. President Donald Trump touted his poll numbers while speaking with reporters on the White House lawn Wednesday. My approval rating is the highest it's ever been, the president declared, pointing to a newly released national survey. But 5 months into his second tour of duty in the White House, Trump's approval ratings remain underwater in most, but not all, of the latest national polls conducted over the past 3 weeks, which is what we just looked at. Trump started his second administration with poll numbers in positive territory, but his poll numbers started to slide soon after his late January inauguration. The president's approval ratings sank underwater by early March and have remained in negative territory ever since in most national surveys. Trump is deeply unpopular, despite what he and some Fox hosts like to say. The polls don't lie, no one likes him. Now, of course, his propaganda is bound to work on some of the more MAGA infected. Here's someone called Laura Lee MAGA. Fake news media is trash, and they've thrown Fox News under the umbrella of CNN and Politico here. Here's another MAGA moron, Vern Bauer. Fox News is owned by lefties. Yeah, right. Just like the bulk of the propaganda news system. These people are so brain infected that if Trump said that leftism causes cancer, they'd happily agree. But there is some pushback over here on Truth Social. The fractures in the right-wing coalition are growing ever larger with this new attack. Wake Up America said, "Why is your own administration filled with former Fox News employees then?" Good question, Wake Up America. Great question. This user, Bella Stash, says, "You're incapable of putting out one tweet without hate and divisiveness. You're the goddamn president of the United States, and you continuously behave like a little toddler who had his lollipop taken from him." But these angry conservatives over on Truth Social have to watch out, because Trump is sending his most loyal warrior, Laura Loomer, after the MAGA disloyalists who refuse to toe in line with God King Chump.
This is actually terrifying. Donald Trump wants to go after his own base. He already wants to go after all the Democrats, but he also wants to go after his own base. He wants the names and pictures of anyone who is, quote, talking shit about him. But he did it in a very coded way. So I came across this yesterday on his Truth Social, and I was wondering, why would he post some random thing of some random woman on Twitter who doesn't have a following or anything like that? But when you click on this, this is what comes up. Why must you be so tough? Individuals concerned that it's a genuine worry. It's not just idle gossip or backstabbing. It's a genuine worry. Our nation has gone through hell and back in the last 4 years. We just want stability and peace. Perhaps this could alleviate the worry. And then there was this, which was showing that we have the largest Air Force. That is not what he wanted attention on. This right here, the tweet that's attached to this comment, he shared this comment, but he was going after this from his favorite MAGA woman, Laura Loomer. Take screenshots of every single right-winger who is shit-talking Trump right now. Post them under this post. I have most of them, but I don't want to miss any. What the fuck? He wants people who support him, who voted for him, to be put on a fucking list if they say anything in disagreement with him. If you are MAGA, do you truly agree with this? That if you ever disagree with your supreme leader, that you are going to be put on a fucking list? Wake up. You are not safe either. And this is dictator shit.
Now, this MAGA civil war that's going on right now makes a lot of sense when you consider this new study on the diversity of thought between Republicans and Democrats. This is going around a lot right now in conservative spheres, and here's what it says. There is more diversity of thought on the political right than the political left. Although they pride themselves on open-mindedness, liberal thinking actually coalesces around a very narrow set of opinion, whereas the right diverges wildly. Now, while that might seem like a good thing for the right, they're a wide umbrella of intellectual thought and lively debate, it's actually not the case. Republicans are pretending like this means their party is ideologically tolerant and that left-wing Democrats are the real cult members. But, of course, conservatives treat reading like a vampire does garlic. And if you actually read the study, according to the present findings, Democrats, more than Republicans, tightly center their belief system around a set of positions at the extremes of these particular items. So extreme means someone answered, "I fully disagree that abortion should be illegal," or "I fully agree that we need more gun control," implying that people who deviate from these positions are likely to be considered as outgroup members. That means if you disagree with me on, let's say, abortion or gun control, I'm more likely as a Democrat to consider you not a Democrat. Now, here's the really important part. The pattern does not imply that Republicans are more tolerant than Democrats, nor that Republicans could deal better with attitudinal uncertainty. Research suggests that social category membership, e.g. being white, Christian, is more important for the construction of Republican identity than it is for Democrat identity. Fulfilling such normative criteria may hence qualify someone as a valid group member, even if that same person may hold somewhat liberal views on, for example, gay marriage. So that means that it turns out Republicans don't care if you are for the environment or against the environment, for gun control or against gun control, for abortion or against abortion. They have no deeply held moral beliefs and seem to only cling together as a loose coalition based on identity politics. This leaves the door open for Democrats to push these divisive issues that are ripping apart the Republican coalition: selling national parks, another war in the Middle East, the cost of living crisis. These issues are tearing apart the GOP coalition by the seams. All the Democrats have to do is talk about it. I'm Tony Hinderman with Really American, and I'll catch you next time.